Oh my gosh, I'm on mute. Okay. Well, that's okay because we haven't started anything yet. It's so great to see everybody. I went ahead and shared this on the feed. So today we are working on day 8. Oh my gosh, I'm on mute. Of our emotional healing challenge, and we're going to be working on womb emotional healing. Now, this is super powerful healing process that allows us to really address all of the cyclical programs that we're tuning into and that hinder our ability to progress and heal in our lives. So this is a really powerful healing that will shift a lot of areas for us. Okay, can you guys hear me? Hi, Susanna. Hi, Angelina. Hi, Truth Seeker. Lonika, Yoli. Wow, started streaming 111 seconds ago. Yes. Hi, so much love to you. Angie, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining us, and for everyone that's been joining us on this challenge. Today, we're going to be looking at womb emotional healing. Now, this can be one of the most powerful healing processes that you will go through because we are going to begin to look at the very root core belief systems that we have created as a part of this human experience that we chose to incarnate into. Now, the concept that we choose our parents is an understatement because we are united with our ancestral lineages, with our families as consciousness through resonance. We are attracted to those family lineages, and we are born into those family lineages from networks of ancestral genetic modification, from simultaneous lifetimes that we share with all of the souls in this ancestral lineage. And every opportunity that we incarnate into this ancestral lineage allows us an opportunity to develop, to evolve, and to co-create in a more powerful way as a whole ancestral lineage, shifting the collective frequency of the programming of this lineage into a higher octave, a higher level each time of frequency. Okay, so every soul that's coming and born into that bloodline is uniquely designed in order to create or have the opportunity to create healing for themselves and for the entire lineage. So that being said, that oftentimes the experiences that we come into, and a lot of times the more trauma and the more difficult your childhood was, the higher frequency you are most recently connecting to. Okay, so how it works, we're experiencing simultaneous lifetimes, simultaneous fragments of ourselves. But before we became aware of this fractal of ourselves and brought it to life into this timeline, we manifested, and our attention and consciousness was present in another timeline. And in that timeline, you were something. This is what we know as past lives or future lives, because again, we don't look at time as linear. It's all happening simultaneously. But how we differentiate that, past lives, you can kind of differentiate that are experiences that are had in this terrestrial plane, perhaps, or in this similar matrix construct. Future lives or aspects of yourself that are more advanced fragments of yourself are going to be aspects of yourself that are ETs, interdimensional beings. You are on other planets, you are Pleiadian, you are Arcturian, and then you immediately incarnate into this earth plane directly from that experience. So whichever one you are most recently descending from, you're going to have tools that are connected directly to that bloodline that will help enhance the experience that you're having or provide you with the tools necessary for the experience that you're having. And the beautiful part of that is that you have the ability of applying these tools, and you can access those tools that are provided for you through your bloodline by activating your DNA. Okay, activating DNA means evolving and activating yourself spiritually, growing your light, reintegrating fragments of yourself from this lifetime, simultaneous lifetimes, as you become aware of yourself as more than just this temporary vessel, okay, through this human experience. And so that process allows you to activate DNA and broaden and expand your light. So this state of healing allows you to anchor more life force into this collective ancestral bloodline, which means that you are infusing into the bloodline source, light, infinite consciousness, and you're anchoring it into this current timeline, into the earth grid, but you're also anchoring it in all the simultaneous fragments, ancestral people, ancestors that you're connecting with, and their grids that they have created on earth as well. Because the earth is an extension of ourselves, just the way we heal our physical body and different parts of our body that are out of alignment, we also heal the planet Earth, because the planet Earth is a mirror of our physical body. So the more we reintegrate from ourselves, and especially connecting to our past lives and simultaneous aspects, we heal the earth with earth matrix cyclical lifetimes. And the construct of these earth lifetimes are all recorded in the Akashic records, which is like the DNA of the earth. So the DNA of the earth allows us to understand the time, place, location in which these fragmentations occurred for yourself in the ancestral lineage. We can heal those by beginning to work with our past lives. What you'll notice is that these past lives are basically a manifestation of many different spectrums of archetypes. And we are cycling through those archetypes in order to reach the highest point of those archetypes in the cycle of the dimensional existence that we're experiencing. So right now in the three-dimensional plane, we are experiencing 13 dimensional aspects of ourselves. In those 13 dimensional aspects, it's split up archetypes. You can understand what those archetypes are, for example, by comparing them with the zodiac signs. Each one of those zodiac signs provides specific information as to the shadows of the collective subconscious, and they are organized and compartmentalized within those 13 archetypes. Okay, the number 13 is a very important number, which we see in many different aspects of ourselves and in the universe. And these 13 archetypes are also how information is organized in our physical body, in the chakra system. Every single one of the chakras are vortices of information that are organized by frequencies. So when we heal and we reintegrate fragments of ourselves from all of these archetypal ancestors that are mirrors of ourselves, we begin to heal in a very profound way collective ancestral trauma. And we are not only affecting all of the ancestors, which are aspects of ourselves, but also the earth through its collective trauma historically. And what that does is that it releases oftentimes many, many souls that are linked to that. This is how we become grid light workers. We become alchemists of energy within us. We begin to heal the collective. All of this is done through emotional healing. Okay, this is how powerful, again, working with our emotional information and database is so important, because this is the gateway into these vortex portals of information in other dimensional planes for healing. And it is the most powerful way to recognize yourself as one, to come into unity with the collective. Okay? Thank you so much, everybody that's commenting in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us here. And Angie, thank you so much for that. Oh my gosh, super chat. Thank you very much. Love you so much. That is so kind of you. Let's continue. So all of these fragments of ourselves that we are reintegrating for our healing really is something that not only encodes and creates a very strong foundation for yourself as a physical hologram, as a vessel for the soul, you are literally creating a strong vessel. And that strong vessel, through the integration of these fragments, through the expansion of your light, has the ability and the technology and the tools to be able to navigate many dimensional layers for potential healing. And this kind of work can carry out into, let's talk about the future aspect. The future aspect would be interdimensional aspects of ourselves. Okay, as future selves, for example, the parts of us that are interdimensional beings, any of the aspects of ourselves that are in the 9th up until the 13th dimensional plane are existing as within a certain archetype of frequencies, can be any number of species. They can appear to us as species. It can be the Greys, it can be the reptilians, it can be Arcturians. It can be any of these numbers of species of interdimensional beings that are manifesting agreed, shared experiences, experiential, contractual agreements to experience something. And we meet them when we raise our frequency because we're meeting them at that frequency, at that dimensional level. Okay, so this is how a lot of us are now becoming more aware of our contact experience. It's becoming more public for the collective because that's the direction that we're headed. We're headed in the direction of interdimensionality. And the merging between the physical and the non-physical will become more and more visible, more tangible as we move forward in our evolution. Okay, so it's important to utilize these tools for healing, for manifestation, for transformation. And one of the ways that we can begin to understand what this lifetime archetypal theme is by understanding the root programs that we received inside the womb from our mother and our father. The mother and the father are two energies that have united in order to create you. Within the mother's womb, her DNA comes together to create that cell that begins to splice into this embryo. The moment of conception, it is defined what you're going to be. Immediately, there is an explosion, an incredibly powerful explosion of life force in which is imprinted everything that you are and everything that you can potentially become. And it is imprinted, the time and space of the entire multiverse is encoded in your genetic code and in your entire physical makeup. And it designs everything that you are going to bring to this timeline. And it also allows you to have access through your genetic information, all of the tools that are available to you, level of psychic abilities, level of abilities to tell whatever it is, all of the superpowers that a human can have, whether it's remote viewing, whether it's intuition, whether it's healing, whether it's manifestation, all of these things are encoded and imprinted in your vibrational frequency. And they're designed for you to carry out what your highest potential expression can be. Your highest potential expression means your purpose, what you're here to do, okay? And our purpose and our mission, whatever we want to call it, isn't just one thing. It really is bringing yourself into your highest expression. That's the most important thing. That is your number one mission. And as you bring yourself into your highest expression, you're then going to be able to access all of those imprints, all of those codes of all your interdimensional bloodlines will come to life for you to become aware of yourself in dream time, in the astral plane, navigate the Akashic records to figure out your past lives, the cyclical patterns there, tools that are accessible there, and also interdimensional aspects of yourself. So, for example, your ability to access really heightened holographic technology through your Arcturian bloodline. Let's say Pleiadian, incredible artistic and futuristic thinking of design and solution solving. Let's say Mantid, you're here to bring incredible biological scientific advancement into the realm. Okay, you begin to tap into these things. And depending how connected you are and how much you've been able to deprogram yourself from trauma, in whichever way you did that throughout your life, you will have access to these things. But every person is equipped in order to pull forward collectively into evolution, our human race. So that's really important. And how we perceive the world is starting with the mother and father and the role that they played. The role that they played means not just the actions that they have taken, but the emotions that they felt around us. Because everything is energy, and because emotion is energy in motion, directed energy, the way that we record things, because we're like sponges, all the emotional environment that we grow up in becomes imprinted in our DNA and molds our perception. So a lot of times we have a certain emotion, it's usually one emotion, that we have felt a lot throughout our lives. It's something that we have always felt since we were a child. This is the emotion that more likely is what you experienced inside the womb. And usually this comes down the mitochondrial bloodline, okay? And why does it come down the mitochondrial bloodline? Because in the gestation process in the womb, you are very heavily connected to our mother. And this is usually where we absorb emotions, but it doesn't stop there, because usually the mother's emotions are affected by the father's emotions. You also begin to understand the emotional temperature and environment that you're going to be coming into as you're born. So immediately is created the perception of the feminine and masculine. Your dualistic perception of things are encoded within you. And you have this perception from the womb carries out into your entire life. Now, if you can understand how powerful that really is, it means that all of the consequent experiences that begin to manifest from that moment forward are designed to help you evolve from those emotions. So you will encounter scenarios that will trigger those emotions in you, and you will have an opportunity to change, to shift perspective of that, okay? Very good. So today we're going to go to the womb and we're going to identify what is that emotion? What is that perspective that we had? Okay. And as we identify that perspective and we identify, what happened to us there, we'll begin to understand how we can change that. Okay, hold on just a moment, please. Okay, excellent. All right, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Luana, for that super chat. Thank you so much. That's so wonderful of you. Thank you very much. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to start by inhaling deeply and exhaling. Okay, we're just going to ground ourselves down to the center of the earth. We're going to visualize our protective field around the body. And start to work with the root chakra as we go ahead and shrink it down to the size of a dime. Help us disconnect from any distractions, any subconscious processes that can move us away from our attention. Quieting the mind, bringing stillness to the mind and body. Going to the sacral, shrinking it down. Going to the solar plexus, shrinking it down. Breathing deeply. Going up into the heart, you can expand that heart chakra as wide as possible. Going to go up to its throat. Go ahead and expand that throat chakra as wide as possible. Going to go up to the third eye and expand that chakra as wide as possible. You're going to go up to your crown, activate the crown. Go ahead and fill it in with your creative color, the color of your highest expression. Entering it into the areas of career, abundance, shifting our frequency in all these areas of our life, relationships, partnerships, family, success, abundance, creative life force energy, that's sexual energy, money, currency, or exchange energy. Fill that in. Okay, health, our spirituality, and finally, your purpose. So go ahead and activate your crown now with this color as it spins and expands, and we're going to go deeper. So I want you to begin to observe now as you pull up a very healing energy. Whatever color energy of your choice, you're going to bring it up into the body, creating a vortex of energy all around you. It's going to begin to pick up debris and move any kind of stagnant energy, discomfort energy, tension. We're going to just begin to let go of our day, any heaviness that we might be holding on to our day or night, if you're doing this in the morning. Completely relaxing the body, softening the shoulders, bringing the body into a state of calm and relaxation. Okay, bringing down cosmic energy into the crown, combining it with this healing energy. And just see it all around your body, rotating all around, all 13 dimensional layers, clearing out of the body. So you're going to create a channel of elimination. Go ahead and send it back down to the center of the earth, everything that you're letting go of. You go back to the solar plexus and you're going to send it up your spine. And from the crown of the head, creating a fountain coating the outside of your protective field. Calling back your life force from people, places, and things that you've become drained unconsciously. Bring it back into your space. At the same time, you are sealing your energetic body. You're owning your space. So make sure that there are no holes and no openings in your energetic body. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take that final amount and shoot it up the spine, down the arms, and you're going to bring it into the body now, nourishing the body, healing the body. Restoring, regenerating, refreshing. So now that you're here, I want you to review the past 24 hours. And go ahead and notice any emotions that have triggered you over the past 24 hours. The harder it is for you to be able to review your past 24 hours, it means that you've been very less present and not in your body. So I want you to notice this. The more that you're constantly in the present moment, the more you're aware of your experiences around you. And as we talked about yesterday, it's that constant observation of yourself and just acknowledgement of all the things that are occurring in and outside of you so that you can choose what you want to experience. So in this meditation, you can kind of begin to become aware. How much are you actually in your body in the present moment, and how much are you outside of your body, unaware of the things that you're experiencing? So our memory should be very sharp, and we should be able to remember our entire life just on a trigger. We should be able to remember. We should be accountable for all of these experiences that have happened, our reactions, and aware of the way that we've experienced things around us. This level of awareness creates a very strong foundation of awareness, not only energetically, but biophysically, chemically, in the physical body, creates a strong vessel of consciousness. It's a vessel to hold awareness, and in other words, that soul, that infinite consciousness that moves through us to channel that life force through us. So go ahead and take your time. And it doesn't mean that you have to remember every single memory, because sometimes we block out memories for a reason, but you will be understanding your emotional process throughout your life. So this is a good way to kind of begin that journey if you wish to become aware of yourself. So go ahead and just take a look now as you review your past week. What's the emotion that you most came into in the past week? Go ahead and go back to the past month. Take a look at all the days as you begin to observe the emotions that you've experienced in the past month. Okay, you're going to go back to the past year now. As you begin to observe the most impactful memories of the past year. What's the emotion you most came into in the past year? Notice your perceptions. Notice your emotions. Okay, you're going to go back now to the very beginning of time. I want you to take yourself back to the womb. Go ahead and see yourself in the womb. Notice the emotions around you. You're going to feel them in your body. You're going to sense them. You're going to know them. You're going to intuit them. You might hear them. Okay, go ahead and listen. Observe. What are you feeling in the womb? Notice how your body tenses up as you begin to mirror yourself in the womb. Go ahead and tune in. What is your mother feeling in this moment? Tune into her now. You're in the womb and you're beginning to tune in as you merge with your mother's emotions and just observe them. You're just observing them. You're reading them from where you are in the womb. Go ahead and tune into your father now. What is he feeling? Okay. Go ahead and see yourself now as you begin to take a look at these emotions that you feel. What do you feel? What's your emotion? Is it different from what you're picking up outside of you? Or is it the same? And just observe how your emotions, if they become affected or shift as a result of what you're experiencing and absorbing from mother and father. I didn't notice that. Go ahead and see yourself now as you come into the world. Take a look at what that feels like. How does it feel to be born? And just gently begin to look at your childhood and your adolescence as you begin to observe if these emotions are the same emotions that you feel throughout your childhood into adulthood. What is the overall theme of the emotions that you feel throughout your childhood, adolescence, and adulthood? Notice how you begin to form your perception of things, of people, of women, of men. The roles that are played in the world. Begin to notice expectations that are formed as a result of these perceptions. Are these expectations your expectations? Or are these expectations that we've inherited from our father and mother's belief systems? And begin to notice how at a later stage in your life, we begin to feel that emotion again pretty strong as it becomes an underlying theme and a root of many choices that we make. Notice how this emotion has shifted our emotions and changes in our choices in life. Oh, look at that. Have any blockages emerged from these perceptions and these adopted belief systems? Are we playing out self-sabotaging belief systems and experiences? Okay, I want you to take yourself back to the womb now as you begin to observe that root core belief system that was formed there. Go ahead and tune into your mother's emotion once again and your father's emotion. And I want you to pick the strongest one, the strongest emotion that you feel inside the womb. Go ahead and tune in. And do not bypass your own emotions. Do not try to overlap negative emotions with positive emotions. I just want you to observe your emotion that you feel the most in there. There is no good or bad. But just observe the strongest, lowest emotion, deepest emotion. Okay, and as you feel that, I want you to begin to observe, why do you feel this way? Is it you or something you're picking up externally? And as you ask this question, just kind of begin to tune in to yourself and the agreements that you made coming into this life. Some of you might get images of agreements that you've made to experience. Okay. Just become aware of that for a moment. We're going to work on past life emotional traumas soon. But for now, just observe, just become aware of that. And then take a look at, why is this person, our mother or our father, feeling that way? Observe them. And I want you to remote view them. You're going to remote view them and their life. As you begin to read the Akash, you're just going to begin to intuit what brought them. And we're going to know this through things that we've heard, through things that we know, and also our intuition. As we begin to observe our parent, what they went through in order to end up in this emotional state at this time. And I want you to observe, what's the pattern in their lifetime? Is the emotion they're feeling in that moment a pattern that they've been experiencing all their life? Is that an emotional pattern? You will be able to know that because you're aware of how they carried themselves in this lifetime with us as parents, the kind of emotions that they were most in throughout our life. And that will tell us what emotions they've been carrying on since childhood. And just notice what led them to come to this point. Notice how their choices affected their lives. Notice if they were congruent with their actions and their beliefs. Or were they incongruent? Notice if they loved themselves enough to make choices that were in alignment with their highest expression. Or did they have the tools to shift their perspective and their emotional state at any point in their lives? Take a look at that. And I just want you to go back to yourself in the womb and just observe yourself now as you put all your focus and attention to yourself, that little fetus in the womb. And I just want you to tune into that fetus. I just want you to feel all the emotions that they're feeling in that moment, through the 9 months of gestation up until the point of birth. What is it that they need in order to not feel these heavy negative emotions? What do they need from their mother? Let's start there. If they could ask anything from their mother, what would they ask of her? Is it to be more present, to be more calm, to love themselves more? Or their father, it could be the mother or the father. Do they need to be more self-aware, more in control of their emotions? Just notice. And by answering that question, I want you to begin to observe yourself in your life now, present day. And I want you to see and ask yourself if you are repeating some of these same programs that our parent repeated in their lives. Are we repeating the same program? Take a look at that. Maybe we're not doing the exact same things, but all of the information is in the emotions. Are we also in that same emotional state as they were? Take a look at that. Are you repeating it? Maybe in lesser ways or different ways, but still, these are your core beliefs. Perhaps they're beliefs of unworthiness. Perhaps they're beliefs of shame around loving the self or taking time for the self, choosing the self. Perhaps they're beliefs of separation. How are we embodying those same beliefs and repeating them? Take a look at that. I want you to see all of the fragments of yourself that have experienced this same repetitive emotional pattern throughout your life. See them in front of you. It could be a couple, it could be hundreds of you. All of the days in your life that you felt this way. Notice how our life has changed as a result of these belief systems. How we have molded our lives into the experiences and the places that we find ourselves today. As you see all of these fragments of yourself, including the womb, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you need in order to no longer enact this repetitive emotional pattern? What do you need from yourself? For example, if it's a feeling of worthiness, what do you need in order to feel worthy? What do you need from yourself to yourself in order to feel differently? The opposite of this emotion. If it's unworthy, to feel worthy. Go ahead and fill that blank with what you're identifying as the repetitive pattern that we've taken on from our parent. If you're avoiding something, notice what you're avoiding. Notice the repercussions of your choices of behaviors and emotions. And ask yourself, who is being protected by this pattern? What part of you is being protected? Is it the true self, the soul, the infinite soul? Or is it the ego? And go ahead and nurture that ego. Give that ego everything that it needs in order to no longer feel that it needs to be in survival, enacting this emotional pattern in order to protect itself, to play out the illusion that it's protecting itself. Because it's an illusion, as you can see. It's an illusion because in reality, this action that we thought was protecting us is actually causing more and more suffering in our lives, to ourselves and those around us. It's blocking us. It's not letting us feel expansive, free, love, joy, abundance, wealth, love, all the things that it's hindering you from experiencing just the way it did our parent. Okay, just notice the perceptions that were created about that sex also. If it's the mother, your perceptions about women, about the divine feminine, and that translates into our intuition, our trust into ourselves, our ability to surrender. If it's the masculine, if it's the father, it translates into feeling the ability to take action, to embody, to move, to feel protected. Okay, go ahead and see how those perceptions have shifted the way that we see ourselves and the world around us. Breathing deeply. Okay, go ahead and nourish all of your fragments with exactly what they need from themselves in order to no longer continue repeating these blockages in their lives. And I want you to keep asking yourself with every answer that you get, what do you need from yourself in order to give yourself that? So let's say the answer is worthiness. Okay, what do you need from yourself in order to to feel worthy of yourself? Okay. Answer that question and then ask the question again. Break it down until you understand the ultimate root, the ultimate truth of what you need. Because just like emotions have layers, so does our truth. Because there are many different perspectives. And we are all going from separate into unity, into one. Until we see things as one. And that is a progression. So today we're learning how to see ourselves and everything outside of us as one. Breathing deeply. Okay, as you go ahead and fill the aspects of yourself, all of your little fragments begin to heal, begin to reintegrate. I want you to go to the part of you in the womb, and you're going to surround that part of you with a golden sphere of light, and you're going to saturate that womb, that little fetus in the womb, with everything it requires in order to no longer feel that it needs to take on these emotions and create those perceptions. Just allow it to saturate, to drink it in, to breathe it in, to quench that thirst for unconditional love, and allow it to experience source once again, because that's what that fetus is most recently connected to. So bring it back, show it that it is indeed that source, that there is no fragmentation that needs to be embodied, separation. Okay. And as you see that part of you healing, you're going to see all of your fragments merging into one part of you, into one fragment of yourself. And just look at yourself. How are you different now? Okay. How are you different? Now we're going to get into the ancestral part of it. So I want you to see your parent, and you're going to shine your crown light on top of your parent. And you're going to begin to see a cord connecting your body to your parent. This cord is going to connect all the way to their ancestral lineages. So go ahead and notice. I want you to visualize the earth. And from your parent, I want you to see all of the ancestors that are connected to the different parts of the world where they originate from. Okay, so let's say your parent is from Europe. Go ahead and see all of the cords. And I want you to see all of them. So let's say your parent is from America, okay? Where did those ancestors come from? Where did they immigrate from? Okay, Europe. Okay, what part of Europe? Let's say it's Germany, Poland, Egypt. Say all of those places. I want you to see those chords, because what you're looking at now is you're reading the Akashic layers, all of the information through the emotional data. You're looking at all of the chords that connect to all of the aspects of ourselves all around the grid of the earth. Because these are belief systems that are inherited. They are designed by the matrix and imposed into society through religion, culture, sex, many different ways. And all of that has been inherited down through the centuries, through our ancestors, into what we are today. So we are looking at all of these roots, these belief roots in these parts of the earth. The earth in itself is holding that frequency trapped in the earth, connecting to ancestors, souls, many souls that have died as a result of this counter-creative belief system. So you're going to release that. So as you uproot all of those cords, you're going to dissolve them. If you are ready to let those go, it's completely up to you. Okay? And then you're going to pull it out of your body. And as you pull it out of your body, I just want you to notice what that looks like as you remove it out. Okay. Take a look at what that belief system looks like in your body. Okay. You're going to see all of your ancestors in front of you. And I want you to see what is it that they need in order to return to source, in order to embody their highest expression. What do they need from themselves? Take a look at them and provide them with everything they need. Allow them to feel that. It's probably going to be one thing. You're going to see. It's going to be one thing. Give them that thing. Allow them to absorb that into their core. As they are nourished, merging into one and dissolving out of your space. You're going to cut cords. And I want you to inhale deeply, calling back your life force from all of this ancestral energy back into your body, and releasing everything that you took out, that you took on from the womb, in past lives, interdimensionally. Let go of the same program that you're taking on and adopting it as yourself. Because in this meditation, you realize that that belief system is untrue, and you've provided yourself with tools to replace it. Okay? So go ahead and see your beautiful fragment in front of you that has healed, and you're going to inhale that into your body, reintegrating it. You're going to merge it in with the root, the sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye. 7 bodies in, 7 bodies out. All charges down to 0, negative, infinite. Okay, as you begin to breathe deeply, go ahead and focus on the root chakra. You're going to open the root chakra back into a balanced state. Sacral, back into a balanced state. Solar, back into a balanced state. Heart, balance your heart. Throat, balance that throat. Third eye, balance the third eye. Go up into the crown. And I just want you to notice if your crown chakra has shifted at all, changed color. Okay, if you have, congratulations, you did a profound healing on yourself. So I want you to visualize that crown and illuminate the 8th, illuminate the 9th, illuminate the 10th, illuminate the 11th, illuminate the 12th, illuminate the 13th, and above you is a powerful white light of source. Connect up into that white light, bring it down into the body, anchor it through the body, and you're going to expand your white light all around you. Excellent. Excellent work. Go ahead and open your eyes and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today on this journey to do a really powerful, deep healing. I want to thank you so much for your incredible comments. Daniel, thank you so much for that super chat. That is so sweet. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I love you guys so much. Pureta, so nice to see you. Hello, Pureta Patel. Angie, if you have any questions, oh, thank you so much, Angie. She says, if you have any questions, put them down here in the chat in all capital letters. Marilena, good morning. Thank you for joining us, man from Daytona, ET1, Cedric, Pono, so good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Dean, Davis, Cedric, wow, so many of you. Tesseract, thank you so much. I am so glad you guys liked it, Marilana. Thank you so much. That felt absolutely perfect. Julie says, oh my goodness, so beautiful. Yay. Luana, thank you so much. Marilena, I connected with Source. Awesome. That's exactly what you are. Gabrielle, thank you so much. Much love to you, Gabrielle. So much love. JD, hi, beautiful Geraldine. Good evening. Good evening. I want to thank you so much. I hope you have an incredible weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. All my love. Bye-bye.